After I died, my parents burned for me every day. A ton of paper money. I instantly became the #1 petty tycoon in the underworld. Later, it got even wilder. They arranged for me a ghostly marriage. Send down here a girl. Sorry, if I don't want her, can I return her? No way! My bride spoke up coldly now that I'm here. From now on, you'll call me wife. I've been dead for 3 years now. The underworld, aside from lacking sunlight and Wi-Fi, everything's pretty fine. In my underworld bank account, my parents send down every day a ton of spare cash. My family runs a funeral service. The one thing we never lack is paper money. So I became the wealthy petty tycoon of the underworld. With money, you can boss around ghosts and demons. I live more lavishly than when I was human. Because of this, I've never wanted to reincarnate. But today, my troubles arrived. Terrence Dawson, go to the ghost post to pick up your package. It's a big one today. I was jolted awake by the shout from downstairs. Opening the window to look down, a black iron tricycle parked below. The ghost yelling for me was the courier girl reverse wind Mandy. When she was alive, she was a delivery worker. After coming to the underworld, she kept doing deliveries. Mandy saw me poke my head out. Mission accomplished. She drove her tricycle. Clack, clack, clack off to deliver to the next house. I found her smile before she left oddly strange, like she was waiting to watch a good show. What kind of package is too big for her tricycle to carry that I have to go pick it up myself? I changed out of my pajamas, washed my face, and headed out. Packages in the underworld are all sent down by relatives up above, delivered to us through logistics. Not many ghosts came to pick up packages today. The post station boss was dressed neatly. As soon as he saw me, he flashed a warm smile, like he'd been waiting for me forever. Little Terrence, your parents are so good to you, sending food and drinks all day long. Look, guess what they sent you today? He pointed to a row of chairs by the wall. I looked over and froze. My jaw nearly dropped. Me parents, why? Did they send a girl down here? I stole a quick glance at her, then hurriedly looked down. I gritted my teeth and whispered to Uncle Page, "Is there some mistake? That's a girl." Uncle Page munched on melon seeds, checked the package number. No mistake, it's definitely yours. I sneaked another look at the girl, no, the female ghost. This time she saw me too, a stunningly beautiful ghost. Just looking frail. Probably has been dead long. Her striking beauty threw my mind into chaos. I forgot. I had the right to refuse signing for it once. In a daze, I signed my name and took her home. The news of my parents sending me a ghost bride seemed to have spread everywhere. On the way, every ghost I knew stared, watching the spectacle. Little Terrence consummating tonight, inviting us for celebratory drinks. I shoot away the loudmouth ghosts. Get lost, what's there to see? Stop crowding around us. Ha ha, haze shy. My face really did burn up. I coughed once, glanced at my ghost bride's calm still face, comforted her. It's your first day here. Don't be nervous. They're just like that. They don't bite. She said very little, didn't even respond to me, always wearing a cold, melancholic air. I wondered if she was mute, or if she just hated me and didn't want to bother with me. How should I put it? But she was very cooperative. Before I went to pick up the package, she obediently sat waiting for me. After I signed, she obediently followed me, like a well-behaved kindergarten kid. Truth be told, I kind of like quiet girls, especially beautiful ones. I loved her from the bottom of my heart. Honestly, her coming here was nice. Living alone in this huge villa, it's really been cold and lonely. Today the house livened up. My place was packed with all sorts of ghost friends. They all came to see my bride. I had to set up a few tables of celebratory wine to entertain them. My ghost bride, like a refined, reserved lady, stayed in the bedroom. Some lecherous male ghosts laughed and peeked at her through the door. After they'd eaten their fill, the ghosts left. I went back to the bedroom. My ghost bride, without a hint of shyness, lay on my bed, one hand propping her cheek, her face listless without spirit. Time to consummate, she suddenly asked me. It was the first time she spoke to me. I was stunned. Terrence Dawson stammered back. I'm fine either way, you go shower first. I'll prepare a bit. You can't judge people by appearances. Who knew she'd be so forward? I, like a wooden statue, quietly went to the bathroom. After showering, I stepped out. Saw my ghost bride lying on the bed again. Weren't we consummating? Why is she asleep so early? I walked to the bedside, hesitating whether to wake her. My hand rested on the bed's edge, full of worrying. I pulled back the blanket to check. Good heavens, the bed was covered in blood, and my ghost bride had fainted. I'm in big trouble now. Consummation with blood isn't supposed to be like this. I hadn't even done anything. I hurriedly carried her to the doctor. The dead in the underworld are all light as air, almost weightless. So I got there in just a few minutes. At the hospital, the doctor examined my comatose ghost bride, lifted her eyelids, checked her tongue, pinched her ears, did a full-body check, finally looked at me in shock and said, "Where did you find this girl? Her mortal lifespan hasn't ended yet." His words scared the hell out of me. After a long, anxious wait, my ghost bride finally woke up. I hurriedly asked her, "You're awake. What's your name? Where are you from? How do you die?" "No, wait, you're not dead yet, are you?" My ghost bride calmly leaned against the headboard, facing my flood of questions. She only replied with 2 words: Lily White. Her name was Lily White. I didn't care if she was Lily White or Lily Green. Let's get to the point. I just wanted to figure out how she ended up paired with me in a ghost marriage. She frowned and asked me, "What's a ghost marriage?" I woke up and I was here. Someone led me here and told me to wait for you to pick me up. That was probably the longest sentence she'd ever said. Her voice was clear and pleasant, matching her stunning beauty. But I couldn't muster any interest in her anymore. The doctor clearly said her mortal lifespan wasn't over. She didn't seem to explain things clearly either. I decided to go up and ask my parents. This is the perk of having money. Money doesn't just let you boss around ghosts. It also gets ghosts to open back doors. I easily bribed the underworld guard at the yin-yang passage and took my ghost bride back to visit home. It was nighttime now. A crescent moon hung high. Bare branches pointed like dry bones at the night sky. Ghosts wanting to linger in the mortal world must attach to a physical object. I pulled Lily White floating into my fanless courtyard. We spotted 2 moths perched on the window, so we possessed them. We clung to the light bulb. Under the light, my parents were arguing fiercely with my grandma. My mom said tearfully, "Mom, have you lost your mind? A ghost marriage isn't something you just arrange. If Terrence has a soul down there, doing this will only cause him trouble." My dad sighed endlessly beside her. "That girl today was from a family, left here waiting for burial. Doing this is disrespectful to her body." Sadly, my grandma, who got dementia 2 years ago, didn't understand a word they said. She looked around as if searching for something. What my parents did was easy to understand. Our family has run a funeral business for generations. When it comes to these things, we'd rather believe they're real. Always extra cautious. My grandma has some mystical knack. Her fortune-telling and divinations are spot on. Like now, on our family altar, we worship a statue of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva. Photos of me and Lily White when we were alive were placed side by side. Before the photos, red candles burned, red cloth was spread out, and an offering of apples and red-shelled eggs. A full-blown traditional wedding ritual, like an actual old-style marriage. I looked at the female moth on the other end of the bulb, Lily White. She quietly hugged the bulb. Her antennae's fine hairs quivered under the light, glimmering with an ethereal golden glow. Seeing me look, she tilted her head. Her antennae lightly touched mine. I don't know what that meant. Then I got distracted by an ugly moth, which somehow looked cute. In that moment of distraction, I loosened my grip on the bulb, slipped, and the whole muffin fell straight into my grandma's collar. A warm, rough hand grabbed me. I was scared out of my wits, silently praying my grandma wouldn't squash me flat. Her hand opened. The little mothma reveled under the light. My grandma's cloudy eyes came close to me. Though she has dementia, her eyes dim and ears deaf, she recognized me instantly. My parents didn't say another word. They sighed and left. I opened my wings, covering my head, flapped twice to respond to her. It's me! Grandma could always sense me. I've always known that. 3 years ago, I died suddenly out there. My body still hasn't been found. My family lost all trace of me since then. The first time I turned into a sparrow and flew home, perched on my grandma's shoulder, chirping a long string. She told my parents not to wait anymore. I was already dead. From then on, my parents burned paper money for me daily, hoping I'd live better in the underworld. This time back, I came for Lily White's issue. I looked up to find her on the bulb. She'd left the bulb, fluttering to a coffin in the funeral parlor. My grandma chuckled twice, happily said, "My dear grandson brought his bride to visit." The little moth bowed its head sadly. That was Lily White's coffin. She recognized it herself. I flew to a crack in the coffin lid, signaled for my grandma to open it. She understood my intent, thought I wanted to see my bride. She pushed the coffin lid open for me. Then I saw Lily White's true body. She wore a black animal print outfit, her under eyes and lips slightly blue, her skin unnaturally white, truly looking like a lifeless corpse. At that moment, Lily White flew to her body's wrist. "Go away, don't touch," Grandma swatted at her. She darted under the wrist. Grandma had to lift the body's wrist to find her. Then she suddenly froze, as if her dementia vanished. Her eyes brightened. Her expression grew serious. Even her standard Mandarin got miraculously clearer. Why does my granddaughter-in-law still have a pulse? My grandma may be foolish, but her heart isn't. In big matters, she's never muddled. She immediately told my parents to call an ambulance, urgently taking Lily White to the hospital. I went along with Lily White. I wanted to be close to my mom, flew into her hair hiding there, utterly content. Lily White was initially stuffed into my grandma's jacket pocket. She poked her head out, saw me here, and flew over to squeeze in with me. Moths can't make sounds. No way to communicate. I didn't know what she wanted. At the hospital, Lily White's real body was rushed to the Her vital signs were indeed still there. Her earlier death pronouncement was likely a common case of false death. As long as she could be saved, I was relieved. I should go. I left the moth to let it fly away, taking on my ghostly form. In the hospital, no one could see me. My mom was asking the doctor about Lily White's condition. I hugged my mom, gently took the female moth from her hair. I said to Lily White, "All right, you stay here from now on. When your body wakes, return to it. Forget this ever happened, don't mention it." To anyone, my son looked at me quietly, her dark sparkling eyes, with 2 lemon-like antennae on her head. After looking longer, she didn't seem ugly anymore, especially when we were about to part. I suddenly found her quite adorable. I lifted the moth, placed her in a plant pot in the hospital corridor, covered her with leaves. Meeting once is fate. You must live well. Finally, I glanced at my parents and grandma in the distance, suppressing the reluctance in my heart, stepped into the wall ahead, vanished back to the underworld. Here the sky is eternally golden, never changing, like every sunset homesick. I reached my doorstep. Manny drove her iron delivery tricycle. Clack, 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 passing by. "Terrence Dawson, pick up your package," she shouted, then sped off to the next delivery. What did my parents send me this time? I went to the post station. Uncle Page was chatting with a female ghost, looking radiant. "Uncle Page, I'm here for my package." "You're here?" Uncle Page smiled even brighter, pointed at the female ghost and said to me, "Hurry, take your bride home. No more returns, okay? The girl's real pretty." At that moment, the female ghost with her back to me turned around. She looked at me, her eyes showing a rare smile. It was Lily White, whom I'd just parted with not long ago. I stood frozen like I'd been struck by lightning. Why was she back? What was all my effort for then? Just moments ago, I was wistful over our brief fate. The next second, my head felt like it was on fire. Can I return her? I want to refuse delivery. I looked at Uncle Page, firmly resolute. Uncle Page immediately tried to persuade me, "Oh, come on. Return what? You two are a perfect match, talented guy, beautiful girl." He lowered his voice, whispering to me, "If you don't take her, she'll be like those wild ghost souls. with nowhere to go. I just heard. Your little bride up there has no family to offer tributes. Lily White stood gently by the side, as if she didn't hear a thing. How well a ghost lives down here depends entirely on how much their family up there remembers them. Here, not every ghost gets to live comfortably. Ghosts with no one to offer tributes wander aimlessly homeless. No matter if they were grand officials or nobles in life, or beggars and quacks. Down here, everyone's equal, just in a different place to drift. I've always been too soft-hearted, so I took Lily White home again. Back home for the first time she spoke to me first. I let your grandma know I still had a pulse, because I wanted her to give me an ending. I was utterly shocked at what did you say? What happened to you? Why do you want to die so badly? Normal people wouldn't help you with this. It's against the law. She saw that my grandma has dementia and wanted to keep her down here as a granddaughter-in-law. Luckily, my grandma's clear-headed in big matters and didn't let her have her way. But why would someone want to come down here so much? Suddenly, it hit me. My eyes widened as I asked her, could it be the reason you died was suicide? Lily White looked up at me, her eyes long and narrow, her pupils dark as ink sparkling. She spoke little, showed little emotion, but I felt she hid many secrets. Just a glance and I sensed her complexity. I cleared my throat, changed the tissue, got blood all over my bed. I haven't even cleaned it up, I said, hurrying upstairs. Lily White followed me up, silently helped me change the bedsheets. She smoothed out every wrinkle on the sheet. The bed was neat and flat, like a finely crafted block of cheese. I couldn't bear to lie on it. I understood she wanted me to keep her, being someone else's ghost bride. Is it really that great? Happier than being human up there? What awful things had she been through? I asked a barrage of questions, not noticing, then turned, startled to see her taking off her shirt. I gasped, Edward, what are you doing? Put it back on. She calmly replied, getting ready for bed. This is my room. You go sleep outside. Not only did she act like she owned the place, she casually reminded me, we were supposed to consummate earlier. She wasn't wrong, but who told her to stain my bed with blood? And let me find out her mortal lifespan wasn't over. Staying with a living person is a big taboo. I've been lonely down here for nearly 3 years. Never been through anything like this. I didn't hear her next words. Turned back, and who'd have thought? She was quietly standing behind me. My forehead brushed her lips. A strange sensation, like a dragonfly skimming water, leaving a trace on my skin. It stunned me. Lily White, a ghost not fully dead, still had some warmth in her body. We're always touched by something special, like something long lost, suddenly coming back to life, emerging from deep memories before you. It could be a scent, a taste, a familiar phrase, or like now, the warmth of a once alive person. My nose stung. I suddenly hugged Lily White tightly. Emotion overpowered reason. Desire broke through boundaries. When I first came down here, I stayed at the Underworld Capitol Hotel. The ghost couple in the next room made the bed creak loudly every day. That's when I learned ghosts can love too. After that, Lily White and I shared one pillow. I wanted to wrap my arms around her waist. I was obsessed with caressing her slender waist. My throat felt like it held a honey candy. If you really don't want to go back up there, staying is fine too. I do lack a wife. She looked frail, but was surprisingly amazing. Just one night flipped my attitude 180 degrees. Lily White was silent for a bit. Asked me, you've been here so long. Don't you want to reincarnate? It's not that I don't want to. I died horribly. I don't even know where I died. No one collected my body. In my case, I'm no different from a wild ghost soul. Thanks to my grandma's spiritual sense, my parents burned enough paper money for me, so I could live well down here. I told her, a ghost without a body can't reincarnate, so you're much better off than me. Yet you don't want to keep living. I don't know what you're thinking. I rambled on, looked up, saw she didn't respond. Then, I met her deep dark eyes. Just one look. My mood turned strange. Suddenly felt those eyes were familiar, like I'd seen them somewhere. In a terrifying, gloomy memory, Surprised, I asked Lily, "Have we met before?" Lily White's eyes flickered, like she wanted to say something. Too bad getting this quiet girl to talk was so hard. My eyelids grew heavy, I yawned, rubbed my face into her neck. The next second, I sank into sleep. Sleeping till midnight, I strangely felt like I was soaked in a foul, icy pool, cold as a venomous snake slithering over me, swallowing me whole. I reached beside me, Lily White like a warm compress I held. Her body was growing cold too. I jolted upright, pulled back the blanket. The bed was soaked in blood again. Really, Lily White had relapsed, staining my bed with blood again. "I told you your mortal lifespan isn't over. You wouldn't listen. Doing this will kill you." The doctor was exasperated too. A living person down here still has the lifeblood of the living. Every day spent here, her lifeblood drains more. Her condition up there worsens. Eventually she'd be half alive, half dead. An outcast, neither the mortal world nor underworld accept. Do you want to see her like that? I didn't expect it to be this serious. Scared speechless for half a day, the doctor thought this was grave. Couldn't turn a blind eye anymore. Immediately reported it up. The head of our region. The underworld has an order much like the mortal world, with hierarchies and laws. Soon a few officials came. They wanted to deport Lily White back to the mortal world. I looked at Lily White unconscious. At this moment, I didn't understand why, after knowing her for less than 2 days, facing another parting, I felt even more reluctant than before. Lily White was gone. I hope she wakes soon and stops doing foolish things. As for me, I'll just treat it as a fling with a charming ghost. Wake up and forget it. My parents still burn paper money and offerings daily. All sorts of delicious food. Sometimes I worrying they burn too much. It'll cause inflation down here. A few days later, Mandy told me to go to the ghost post again. I feel she's gotten lazier lately. Anything slightly big she won't deliver. Makes me go get it myself. I went to the post station. Uncle Page said today's package was huge, and the sender's address wasn't my parents' usual one. I said let me open it first. I opened the package right there. When the contents were revealed, the ghosts inside and outside the station all gasped in unison. I was stunned too. First time seeing offerings like this. It really opened my eyes. A Rolex watch worth tens of millions. A full set of high-end Zegna suits. Limited edition Gucci sneakers. And a collection of cool long coats. Long ones, short ones, thick ones, thin ones. Over a dozen stuffed in there. Food wasn't lacking either. Hermes Black Swan cake, the elite of desserts. Red velvet cake. Chocolate cake. Fondant cake that blew my mind. I took a card from a big bouquet of white roses. On it written in bold handwriting, "I don't think I ever told you. You're very handsome." Signed Lily White. She's awake. The crowd of ghosts swarmed over, chattering noisily. This is too extravagant. All this stuff up there must be worth a whole house, right? Little Terrence, heard your bride went back, and she's so good to you. Still thinking of you up there. No one's as lucky as little Terrence. But I couldn't feel happy. I borrowed a cart from Uncle Page. Pushed the pile of stuff home. I don't know if this sudden sadness was from the gap or something else, because she's back in the mortal world, while I'm stuck here forever, no end. Hearing someone call me, I turned back. A male ghost I'd just met at the station ran up to me. He hesitated, pursed his lips some. I didn't want to say earlier, "Your bride. Heard she's Lily White." I perked up and asked right away what the mysterious ghost guy went on. When I was alive, I knew her. She was the fiancée of my friend's brother. Heard they've been engaged for ages. Yo, you didn't get played, did you? I checked and double-checked with him. Verified Lily White's name and age. Finally concluded he wasn't wrong. My heart turned icy-coldly white. You're something. Clearly engaged. Why mess with me? Thinking back to our intimate moment in bed last night, that sweetness turned into a slap, smacking me hard in the face. It stung. I rushed straight to the underworld office, pulled out the marriage certificate for me and Lily White. In a ghost marriage once paired, Lily White's name automatically appears in my book of life and death. The system here is like up there. One husband, one wife, equal partners. No betrayal or deception allowed. Now that Lily White is back in the mortal world, our marriage is still valid. At first I thought fine, let it be. I'd hardly find another wife anyway. But this new info made my blood boil. I just wanted to cut ties with her. Never see her again. I asked Uncle Page to draft a divorce agreement. Now I'd go up to find Lily White to divorce her. At noon the hospital ward was quiet. Tree shadows fell on the white hospital bed. Lily White lay there, eyes closed, sleeping soundly. Her complexion looked much better. I floated on the ceiling for a bit. Chose a blue teddy bear to possess. The bear belonged to a vegetative patient next door. Looks like Lily White's family really wasn't good to her. Didn't even get her a VIP room. I possessed the teddy bear. Squeaked a bit. Wobbled to Lily White's bedside. Climbed up the sheets bit by bit. I sat on her pillow. Poked her face with my fluffy paw. Lily White frowned and woke up. Now I was a furious teddy bear. My invisible eyebrows all scrunched up. Too bad I couldn't speak, or I'd definitely curse her out. Lily White blinked in a daze, then smiled. Terrence. Her soft, intimate voice wrapped around my name. Just like that passionate night. I froze, almost falling for her again. I squeaked, climbing onto her. Midway she even helped push me up, and patted my head. I swatted her hand away, stood on her arms crossed, fuming. I pointed at her, then at my little chest. Finally crossed my hands in an X, signaling a break. Lily White watched me patiently. Her face showed a rare suppressed smile. I seldom saw her like this. Just wait, I'd make her cry soon. I reached behind my back, unzipped the teddy bear, pulled the divorce agreement from the lining. I'd prepared everything. Lily White opened the paper, scanned it. Her brows gradually furrowed. I crossed my legs impatiently, waiting. Sneaking glances at her expression. She finished reading, calmly folded the paper, said to me, Terrence, I'm your wife. I'm not divorcing. Listen to her. I was really pissed off. Looks like I need to possess something that can talk to confront her properly. I turned the bear's head, searching the room. Suddenly a voice came from the next bed. If she want divorce, just let it be. She calls your name in her sleep all night. I'm about to have a nervous breakdown. Then I was horrified to see the vegetative patient next door, more precisely his ghost soul, sitting by his own body, looking at me and Lily White helplessly. Lily White couldn't see him, didn't notice anything unusual yet. I gaped in shock. He spoke again, so you're Terrence. She calls your name every day. By day she seems gentle and pretty. At night she's noisier than 100 ducks. He pointed. That bear you're in is mine. My face flushed. I quickly left the bear. The soulless bear flopped to the ground. Lily White hurriedly picked it up, dusted off non-existent dirt, then realized I wasn't there anymore. Her face showed slight disappointment, staring at the bear, lost in thought. I looked at the vegetative guy. You've been here the whole time. He grinned smugly. I've learned quite a few secrets here, like which male nurse has a crush on your little wife, fighting to give her shots every day. And I know your little wife isn't honest, about to marry some rich heir. I knew the rumor I heard wasn't wrong. Me and the vegetative guy went to a bubble tea shop near the hospital. Both of us possessed two buddies drinking bubble tea. The vegetative guy rarely got to talk to someone. Once he started, he couldn't stop. He's only 23 this year, just graduated college not long ago. Was about to become a proud teacher. One day on the road, saved a kid crossing the street, got hit by a car and became vegetative. Been in the hospital over a year. Kindred spirits, we clicked. I sighed, told him my story too. I died saving someone on the road too. The worst part is the car that hit me not only didn't take me to the hospital, they dragged me to the suburbs and buried me alive. I wasn't even fully dead then. My eyes wide open watching them bury me. The vegetative guy shuddered. No way, how can people be that evil? Do you remember the guy's face? I support you turning into a vengeful ghost to get revenge. I shook my head, said dully, I don't remember clearly. Just a vague impression. but if I saw him again, I'd probably recognize him. Our poor borrowed buddies finished their bubble tea and went back to the hospital. When our souls left their bodies, the two guys, seeing their cups empty in a blink, panicked, asking each other, "Did we just black out?" Me and the vegetative guy laughed and chatted back to the ward. Just at the door, a sharp male voice came from inside. "Let me tell you, it's not that easy. Alive, you're mine. Dead, you're my ghost. Try me and see who's tougher." This was her domineering fiance. The vegetative guy whispered to me. As he spoke, a figure rushed out. He passed through my shoulder. As if sensing something odd, he squinted, looking my way. Just one glance froze me like I'd fallen into an ice pit. This was the face I'd never forget, even in death. The vegetative guy nudged me. "That's wrong." I snapped back. The guy was already far off. I watched his retreating figure. His face still lingered before my eyes. Memories raced through a chaotic time tunnel. Back to that rainy night 3 years ago. Late at night, 11 p.m., drizzle falling. The streets empty of people. Under the streetlights, thick fog. After a long day's work, I just wanted to get home fast. Got off the last bus. Had to walk a bit further. The weather was chilly. I pulled my coat tight. Texted my mom, "I'll be home in 10 minutes. Sent the message. Suddenly a girl appeared like a ghost in the middle of the road. She startled me. My phone dropped to the ground. I bent to pick it up. Heard an engine roar from afar. Looked up. A crimson sports car, like a panther hunting in the night, ferociously charging this way. And the girl in the road stood straight, motionless, facing the car. I shouted anxiously, "Love, what are you doing?" She wasn't clueless. Heard my shout. Turned to look at me. The young girl's dark eyes, blurred by the misty rain, drenched in silent despair. The car's headlights shone on her. In a rush, I ran over, used my body to push her to the roadside. We fell together into a puddle. The red Ferrari zoomed past us, stopped a headlights off. I sighed in relief, got up to help the girl, but that terrifying engine roar started again. The headlights blazed, lighting the area like daytime, letting me see clearly the crazed face behind the windshield. The girl beside me had fainted. Big raindrops hit her pale face. The headlights shone straight at us, stinging my eyes. I had no way to save her anymore. I couldn't escape my own doom either. The crash, the brakes, the sound of something heavy falling rang in the rain. Rainwater poured into my eyes, my nose, my mouth, but I was too hurt to feel. Clumps of black dirt kept falling, blocking my view. Above the pit, several tall men in suits were shoveling. The girl I saved was still alive. She struggled to crawl to the pit's edge, reaching for me. The next second, a man in black dragged her away. The night grew heavier, dark as a swamp swallowing people. The man looked down at me from above, coldly ordered his men to clean it up. "Don't forget to wash my car when you're back." The vegetative guy's voice pulled me back to reality. "Your little wife's packing up. She's about to be discharged." What, she's taking my bear too? Fine. She left a stack of cash at my bedside. I stood outside, separated by a wall. He asked where I was going. I didn't answer. The mortal world's sunlight was hot and bright. I floated to the hospital's base, possessed a small cat, used its body to run home. My disappearance 3 years ago was an unsolved case. That night on the road I had to pass to get home. All the surveillance cameras were conveniently under maintenance. A mysterious force manipulated the truth, burying it forever with me. For 3 years I watched my family suffer and collapse, in pain and helplessness. I hated that man. I still do. Today I finally found him. I could use my abilities to make him restless, even kill him. But if I did, I'd break the underworld's greatest law. A vengeful ghost soul is like a living person committing a crime. They'd face imprisonment and punishment. The worlds of yin and yang are separate. The dead must never interfere with the living. Do I really have to let go? The cat, following memories, reached home, stood on hind legs, scratching the door. The door opened, I meowed, rubbed my head on my mom's leg. She picked me up, took me to the yard to eat and drink. If the dead miss home, they'll turn into small creatures to return. That's a story my mom told me since I was little. After I died, they cherished all life even more. I curled up to sleep under the garden flowers. Like when I was small, half dreaming, half awake, hearing my grandma hum an off-key tune, my mom cooking in the kitchen, my dad watching endless anti-Japanese war films. I flipped over lying on my back. Two butterflies chased each other before my eyes. Time heals wounds. My family had returned to normal life. Let it be then. What can't be changed, let the wind carry away. Those who need forgetting can only enter dreams. Back in the underworld, I always felt an emptiness in my heart. Something missing. In contrast to my situation, my neighbor's place got lively lately. The neighbor guy like me. A young ghost soul. He died longer ago. Over 20 years, still youthful. And firmly against reincarnation. Recently his parents passed away. Came to the underworld to reunite with him. Their family as joyful as when they were above. I was invited to their place as a guest. Deeply felt the saying, loved ones leave to prepare a home for your next life. My neighbor's dad was a warm guy. He knew I lost my body, couldn't enter the cycle of reincarnation, so he wanted to set me up with a single female ghost. I met her, she seemed nice. My mood lifted, eager to go up and tell that disloyal girl, ex-lover, an underworld senior taught me ghosts can send dreams, but only if the person truly misses you. Then you can enter their dreams. A night as husband and wife means 100 days of bond. I wasn't sure if Lily White missed me. Hearing this, I wanted to try. Lily White had been discharged at the hospital's nurse station. I found her home address. On a dark, windy night, I snuck in. Lily White was rich, I knew that. Last time she casually burned $1 million for me. This time at her luxurious villa. I grew more curious, what does she do? So rich yet always wanting to die. Couldn't figure it out. The huge house was silent as a graveyard. She lived there alone. I found Lily White sleeping in the master bedroom. Turned into a wisp of smoke slipped into her mind. By chance she was dreaming of me. But the content shocked me. When I saw what she was doing, I instantly snapped awake. What greeting me like this right away? I scrambled to escape. Lily White quickly grabbed my wrist, pulled me into her arms. She didn't know this was the real me, still acting recklessly. She was like a madwoman. I shouldn't have come walking into a tiger's den. She wore me out. I couldn't take it. Used all my strength, pointed at her 3 times, shouting back, back, back. Lily White looked up. Her eyes gradually clear redderance. My face looked awful. Its mesh calmed down, but her eyes still burned fixed on me, like she'd devour me the next second. I quickly pulled the blanket over myself, coughed once. Have you signed the divorce agreement? I came to get ID, burned it. What she didn't explain further. Leaned down to kiss me again. Suddenly, I really wanted to know, does Lily White truly like me? Moonlight spilled across the bed. I cried out in pain. Her movements softened. I closed my eyes. Love is something you can feel. If that's the case, why is she with the man who killed me? When I saw that man at the hospital, memories of him resurfaced. I finally understood why that night felt strangely familiar. Lily White was the one I risked my life to save from that car. I think she recognized me from the first glance. So now her cherishing and treasuring, is it out of guilt and regret? But no matter what, it can't make up for it, Lily White. As she leaned close, I couldn't hold back sobbing aloud. Lily White rested my chin on her shoulder, trembling, crying silently, then hugged her tightly. In that moment, she kept saying one thing to me: wait for me. Before dawn, I returned to the underworld empty-handed, lost in thought. Ran to tell my neighbor, I don't want to meet anyone else. As long as Lily White doesn't sign, I can never start a new spring. She's hateful, chaining me, and she's getting worse. As if she doesn't plan to live anymore. Keeps sending everything down here. Clothes, shoes, watches, daily necessities, fine. One day Mandy told me to pick up a package again. I went and looked. She sent me a sofa with a letter. She said this sofa is super expensive, especially comfy, just right for 2 to lie on. My face burned. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to go up and stop her crazy behavior. I drove familiar with the way to Lily White's house. She wasn't home. The blue bear she spent thousands on bought from the vegetative guy, was placed prominently in her house. One possessed the bear again, jumped off the table, crouched by the door. As soon as she saw the bear shed, "No, it's me." Since our last parting, half a month had passed. I don't know why I felt nervous. Waited a long time. When I was about to doze off, the door lock clicked. I looked up excitedly. Lily White walked in arm with her fiancé. If last time entering her dream was walking into a trap, this time was inviting humiliation. I'd imagined every scenario of her seeing me, but never this one. The man's strong arm wrapped around her waist, demanding a kiss domineeringly. Lily White leaned back, smiling coaxing. "Later, be good. Change shoes first." He reluctantly kicked off his shoes. "Why is there a bear here? Who'd you buy it for?" Lily White looked at him gently. "Like it's for you." The bear couldn't do anything. Its dark glossy eyes reflected their intimate scene. Good thing the bear's heart was just stuffing, so it didn't have to feel the pain of a breaking heart. This time back, my ghost friend said I changed. I stopped going out, spoke less, sometimes went to pick up my parents' packages, signed and left right away. Didn't want to look back at the chairs where Lily White once sat. When asked where my bride was, I'd get irrationally angry. Lily White's appearance dispelled my resentment about my death, but her betrayal shattered all my faith. I felt hatred starting to gnaw at my heart. Maybe one day I'd turn into a vengeful ghost, abandon everything for revenge. A few days later, a letter from the mortal world disrupted my life. It was from my parents. "Terrence, finally good news. Your disappearance case has new progress. The police summoned us. Tomorrow go to the disposal site to identify. Dear son, we're so emotional. It's almost dawn. The one who killed you will surely be punished." Reading the letter, I gripped it tightly, unable to calm down. Why so sudden? Right tomorrow's Todai. Checked the letter's date. The sky drizzled. In a forest 30 kilometers from the city, several police cars parked. Cordon lines set up. They even brought police dogs. As a small bird, I perched on a branch, watched the police dig tirelessly. The pit grew deeper. Another shovel strike. Someone dug up a piece of white bone. He shouted. The crowd rushed over. The rain seemed to grow heavier, wetting my eyes. My mom fainted from crying nearby. My dad, eyes red, supported her. The body in the pit had long decomposed. I watched the police carefully collect each bone fragment. Each shovel felt like it dug into my heart. 3 years later, I was finally found. But the joy didn't last, because I knew the killer was still out there free. Lily White, you know everything, don't you? You were the only witness that night. Why did you choose to be with him, the one who buried me alive? I passed through the crowd, saw a cold white skeleton, and a piece of the coat I wore when I went missing. A corner of the coat. 3 years passed. My once hard brand new coat had crawled through countless venomous snakes. The oak tree had decayed beyond recognition. I didn't want to look anymore. In the endless misty rain, far off, a figure with a black umbrella caught my attention. She stood alone, far from the crowd. Mist and smoke enveloped her, like a silent statue, but quietly telling many stories. My heart trembled violently. At this moment, I understood everything. Crane Wall and Lily White. Lily White was adopted. Before 10, she lived in an orphanage. For a beautiful girl like her, she should have been adopted early. But her innate silence, her indifference to people and things, made her unlikable. The reason she was adopted by the Crane family was because Crane Wall liked her. Crane Wall was the only son of the Crane family, the treasured jewel of the household. The family wanted to adopt a sister for him. When Crane Wall went with his parents to the orphanage to choose, he took one look and liked the beautiful Lily White. Lily White, 5 years younger than him, became his sister, but he had no intention of treating this 10-year-old as his sister. When Lily White came to his house, she became a toy comb when called leave when dismissed. Happy had pat her head, give her candy. Unhappy forget slaps or punches. Had even used knives or scissors on her. 3 years later, Crane Wall committed a murder in the country. The Crane family sent him abroad to avoid trouble. Lily White finally got a normal teenage life. Her adoptive parents treated her lukewarmly. Not close, but they didn't let her lack food or clothes. Lily White once thought when she grew up she'd repay them. She was young but gifted, studied hard, skipped grades during school. At 16, she got into a top university. Her adoptive parents began to value this adopted daughter, planned to groom her as a future daughter-in-law. But at that moment, Crane Wall returned. Years apart, Lily White at 16 had transformed into a stunning young woman in both figure and face. Crane Wall couldn't take his eyes off her. What Crane Wall wanted, he always got. Even if this sister was stubborn and hard to tame, he always had ways to torment and wear her down. One day, he found someone else liked Lily White too. He went mad with jealousy, furiously dragged that boy to an underground factory he used for torturing people, beat him to a pulp, stuffed insect eggs into his wounds, dumped him in a park. That boy died. Lily White accidentally learned the truth, ran to the police station to report it. The police comforted her, then notified her family to take her home. Soon her adoptive parents and Crane Wall arrived and presented a psychiatric evaluation of her. Lily White was utterly hopeless. Even her adoptive parents told her to obey, not to resist her brother, and she'd live well. On one side, the bond of her adoptive parents. On the other, her so-called brother bullied her unjustly. Lily White tried to escape, but was quickly caught, locked in a sunless basement for a month. She also fought back. Crane Wall listed her friends and classmates, smiled brightly, telling her, "You don't want your good friends to meet senseless tragedy, do you?" As the saying goes in the mortal world, when you can't fight, you accept your fate. Then severe depression pulled her into a dark, lightless world, and Crane Wall's greed grew bigger. He drugged her drink, shamelessly climbed into her bed. Lily White was so disgusted she vomited all over the bed. Crane Wall's pride had never been so wounded. He went berserk, smashing the whole room. His sharp nails clawed her neck, gouged at her eyes. Though Lily White loathed him to the core, she couldn't fight a man. She struggled to keep a shred of consciousness, ran out of the villa. Crane Wall chased her like an enraged male wolf. The red Ferrari floored it. At the moment it charged, she ran into the road desperate. Crane Wall didn't stop. She thought finally it could end. A young man saved her. We dodged the crash, fell together by the roadside. Lily White saw me clearly. A very handsome guy. Kindness and worrying truly conveyed through his eyes. The next second, Crane Wall, crazed, floored it again. Lily White wanted to protect me, but this time, Crane Wall deliberately aimed at the innocent guy. He couldn't stand any man near her. The second crash dented the car's front. I was gravely injured, unconscious. She broke several bones. The puddle beneath us stained red. The rain kept falling. Impossible to tell how much blood was hers or mine, or if our blood mixed together. When she woke, they were in a deserted suburb. Lily White watched helplessly as Crane Wall ordered his men to bury the injured Gaimilev. She struggled to crawl to the pit's edge, thought going with me would be fine. How could Crane Wall let her have her way? After waking, she went to that place. 3 days had passed. Heavy rain washed everything away, erased the blood on the road, leveled the burial ground. Fresh grass covered the field in her sight. She couldn't find me anymore. She tried going to the police. By chance, that night all the traffic cameras on the road were broken. Hearing this, she understood everything. Behind her, Crane Wall walked into the police station, smiling, calling her, "Little sister, time to go home." Lily White's depression worsened to the point she couldn't swallow a sip of water. She dreamed of that young man day and night. The guilt, like a venomous snake, gnawed at her heart. One day a guard got careless, let her get her pill bottle. She poured out all the pills, swallowed them one by one. Turns out when humans near death, their consciousness stays clear. Her soul stood beside, watching her breath weaken, her body grow cold. She saw herself taken to the hospital. The doctor regretfully pronounced her dead. Crane Wall hugged her body, shedding a few crocodile tears. Utterly disgusting. The Crane family took her body to the funeral home. 7 days later held her funeral. She realized she was dead, yet not dead. Her soul lingered, refusing to leave until the red candles on the funeral altar flared. An old lady by her coffin muttered a long chant. Then, she lost control, transported to another space. Looked up. A golden endless sky, neither bright nor dark. The passers-by around her had hazy forms. Ahead, an old lady guarded a bridge selling some kind of soup. Guided by instinct, she reached a place like a logistics hub. Soon, a young man came saying he'd take her. He seemed to have forgotten her, but she recognized me at first glance. This was the rare warmth she'd touched in her 20 years of life. Even if she didn't know where I'd take her, she was willing, even to the Avicii hell or anywhere else. She wanted to go with me. This was Lily White's third time in the underworld. The sky here always glowed boundless gold. No wind, no rain, let alone sun or moon. But she felt more at ease than on a resort island. Not long ago, she settled everything up there. For me, she personally put Crane Wall in prison. Crane Wall was sentenced to life. Even if he dies of old age, he'll go to the eternal hell to atone. No need to see that evil face anymore. Her plan was a complete success. In her final days, she pretended to accept Crane Wall. His years of reckless behavior, all he wanted was her right. Just one smile from her kept him happy for days. Only she knew, even a glance at him made her suppress the urge to vomit. In just a few days, Crane Wall fell into the sweet trap she meticulously set. Completely off guard with her, she hugged him, said a few words. He eagerly spilled everything she wanted to know, treating his crimes like trophies, boasting arrogantly, talking endlessly, unaware the pen recorder on the table was on, capturing everything he said. The Crane family's power was sky high, a massive force. So, she prepared thoroughly from the start. Reporters, media, lawyers, a social media marketing team ready to fight. No matter how big the cover, it couldn't stop the people's thirst for truth and justice. So she succeeded. The day they dug up the body, she stood far off with an umbrella. Her heart never so calm. She knew I'd be there too. I might be the seven-spotted ladybug on a leaf, or the blue-feathered bird on a branch. I was worried that she'd be mad from last time, seeing me and Crane Wall come home together. In truth, the moment she saw the bear run to the door, she knew it was me. But with Crane Wall there, she could only pretend ignorance. As soon as he left, she rushed to hug the bear, coaxing it like a child to cheer me up. All the sweet words of her life poured out in those few minutes. The bear didn't respond at all. I still left. Her heart felt like a piece was carved out. But it's okay. She told me to wait for her. She'd find me soon. Today she really did it. She lined up in the long crowd, waiting to be assigned to the transfer hotel. But who knows how long that'd take. She was about to leave the line to find me. A female ghost who came with her called out, "Where you going, sister? It's almost our turn." Lily White waved, didn't look back, kept walking. "I have a home here. Going to find my husband." The female ghost looked stunned. This road Lily White had walked countless times in dreams. This time, she finally pressed the bell of this little house. With the pleasant ding-dong, the chime held 9 parts sorrow, 1 part sweetness. Everything at last came full circle.